If you've ever had to match data across two Excel sheets, like looking up an employee's salary using their employee ID, and ended up checking each row manually, this video is for you. I'm going to teach you the VLOOKUP formula, and at the end I'll show you one mistake almost everyone makes, which breaks the formula silently. VLOOKUP stands for vertical lookup. This formula searches for a value in the first column of a table and pulls back data from any other column in that same row. Think of it like looking up a name in a phone book to find their number, except here, Excel does it automatically. The formula has four parts. First, the lookup value, the thing you're searching for, like an employee ID. Second, the table array, the entire range where your data lives. Third, the column index number, meaning which column to pull from, counting from the start of that range. The first column counts as 1, the second as 2, and so on. And fourth, range lookup, which is either true or false. This fourth part is where most people go wrong, and I'll break it down in detail in about 3 minutes. Let's do a real example. I've typed the employee ID into E2. The table array is A2 to C10, which has the ID, name, and salary. I entered column index 3 because salary is in the third column, and I set range lookup to false because I need an exact match. As soon as I hit enter, look, the correct salary shows up. Now I can drag this formula down to fill the whole list. Now the important part, true versus false. False means exact match. If the value doesn't match exactly, the formula returns an error. True means approximate match. This is used when you're working with ranges like tax brackets or a grading system. But there's a big catch. True only works correctly if your lookup column is sorted from smallest to largest. If it isn't sorted, the formula returns a wrong result without showing any error at all. And that's the silent mistake I mentioned at the start. Let's talk about the #n/a error. This shows up when the lookup value simply isn't found in the table array. There are 3 common reasons. First, a spelling mismatch or an extra space. Second, you're using true instead of false on unsorted data. And third, your table array isn't locked, so when you drag the formula down, the range shifts along with it. The fix is an absolute reference, adding $signs around your table array, like $2 to $C$10. Now when you drag the formula down, the range stays fixed and only the lookup value changes. And if an error can still come up, say, when data is genuinely missing, wrap the formula in IFRA. So instead of an error, you get a blank cell or a custom message. Now let's look at a real analyst use case. Say your sales sheet only has product ID and quantity, and the price lives on a separate tab. VLOOKUP can pull that price into your sales sheet, and then you multiply price by quantity to get total revenue, without manually checking every product's price. This is exactly what happens every day when building real reporting and MIS. Now, one limitation to understand, VLOOKUP can only pull data from columns to the right, never to the left. That means your lookup column always has to be the very first column in the table array. If you need data from the left side, that's where index match or the newer XLOOKUP formula comes in. I'll go into detail on those in the next video, since they are more flexible than VLOOKUP. Let's recap. First, remember VLOOKUP 4 arguments. Second, use false unless you specifically need an approximate match. Third, lock your table array with $signs. And fourth, if you see the #n/a error, check spelling, sorting, and whether your range is locked. If this helped, go practice it on your own sheet. Watching alone won't make the formula stick. Typing it out will. Let me know in the comments what you use VLOOKUP for at work. I read every comment. And if you want the index match and XLOOKUP video next, the link will be in the description and cards.